Hello and welcome to Runescape 3, everybody! Desert Treasure, it's finally time. I promised it, it's finally happening. Sorry for the delay, but now I actually do have all the requirements done and over with. So, to start us off, we need to go into the desert and talk to an archaeologist southwest of the Shantae Pass in the Debebedine camp. We already were there for tourist traps, you may be familiar with that camp. Yeah. So let's go ahead and switch out to some desert clothes real quick. I know they look a little bit silly with the purple hood and the green cape, but it doesn't even matter. We're going to go through the Shantae Pass. Don't ask me again if I want to go into the desert. I know exactly where I'm going. Proceed. Thank you. Alright. On the way to the Debebedine camp. Yes, you remember me talking about that last time. Desert Treasure is a very long quest. I'm just going to say that right now. It is going to take me several episodes to get this done, and that's assuming the lag doesn't get me killed a few times. I'm praying it doesn't. I'm going to try to break this quest up into video segments that make sense. You know, because it's kind of divided up into like 6 or 7 parts. So I'm going to try to do it in what makes sense. Some of the episodes may be really long, some may be really short. I don't really know, but I'm going to do it so it kind of doesn't feel like it's disjointed. I hope that's okay with you guys, but that's what I'm going to do. Is this Guthix cape going to get me killed? Oh god, I hope not. Let's talk to the archaeologists. How you doing, sir? Hello there. Howdy, stranger. What brings you out to these parts? What are you doing here? Oh, by the way, his name is Asgar Smith. Yeah. That's not a reference to Indiana Jones. Yeah, definitely not. Okay. Nothing much. What are you doing here? Doesn't seem like there's much to do out here in the desert. Well, that's where you'd be wrong. I work for the Archaeology Society of Verok, and I've been excavating around here recently. Was there something you specifically wanted? Do you have any quests? Call it a hunch, but you look like the type of man who might. Ah, it's funny you should say that. I'm not sure if I'd really call it a quest as such. But I found this ancient stone tablet on one of my excavations, and it would really help me out if you could go and take it back to the dig site for me and get it examined. It's very old. I don't recognize any of the inscriptions on it. Yay! We finally get to accept Desert Treasure. Sure, I was heading there anyway. I lied. Any particular person at the dig site you want me to talk to? His name's Terry Belando. Give it to nobody but him. I'm sorry, I can't entrust you with the actual tablet I found. It is far too valuable to give away. But I took these etchings. It should be enough for him to take a preliminary translation on. Come back and let me know what he says. I would hate to waste my time excavating anything that isn't worth my time as a world-famous archaeologist. Fair enough, fair enough. Guy doesn't want to waste time. I respect that. Alright, well, let's get out of the desert then, huh? We didn't even have to take a drink of water. It's one of the wonderful things about these desert robes. They prolong your survivability traveling around the desert. You know what else does that? Magic carpets. But I haven't even used one of those yet. So, meh. Meh. Alright, so we're heading over to the dig site, which is directly east of Verok. I'm going to switch back into my Batwing clothes. This is pretty much a mage-heavy quest. If you really want to take down the bosses, and there are a lot of them, and they are a lot tougher than the trolls I fought in Troll Stronghold, then you really want to be dressed up in mage. Oh, great, I'm already sensing some lagging issues. Well, this is just fantastic, isn't it? Well, hopefully we can power right through it. Yes, there are basically 4 major bosses in the game, and a few trolls and other things in the way that kind of get tough. But those are the big ones, and each of them are weak to a specific element in magic, so I'm hoping to take those down nice and fast. Well, this is just peachy, isn't it? Don't you love standing here frozen in nothingness? It's beautiful. There it goes. Connection lost. Come on. Whoop. Okay. Well, and now it's going to be good for about 30 seconds, and then it's going to die again. I'm really worried about these boss fights. It may very well be that I die for the first time in this game. I die, like, legitimately and lose my stuff. The only other couple times I've died have been during safe quests, so this is definitely not a safe quest. This is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Alright, well, we want to talk to, Terry, I think he said? Is it Terry? Where's Terry? That's an archaeological expert. Examiner. Anyone named Terry here? Does anyone know a Terry? Maybe I can just talk to the archaeological expert. Is that him? Maybe. Oh, there it is. Let's ask about the Desert Treasure quest. Hello, are you Terry Belando?
That's right. Who wants to know? Ah, yes, I recognize you. You're the fellow who found that strange artifact about Zaros for the museum, aren't you? What can I do for you now?
That's right. I was in the desert town by the Debebedine camp. and I found an archaeologist who asked me to deliver this to you.
You spoke to the legendary Asgar Smith? Quickly, let me see what he's got to give you. He's always at the forefront of archaeological breakthroughs.
So what does the inscription say? Anything interesting?
This is fascinating. These cuneiforms seem to predate even the settlement we are excavating here. This is most interesting indeed.
Can you translate it for me?
Well, I'm not familiar with this particular language, but the similarities inherent in the pictographs seem to show a prevalent trend toward a syllabary consistent with the phonemes we have discovered in this excavation.
So can you translate it for me or not?
Well, unfortunately, this is the only example of this particular language I've ever seen, but we might be able to make a rough translation of sorts. It might be slightly obscure on the finer details, but it should be good enough to understand the rough meaning of what was originally written. Please just wait a moment, I'll write up what I can translate into a journal for you. Yep, got a little bit stuck there, that's alright. Then you can take it back to Asgarnia. I think you will be extremely interested in the translation.
Okay, good enough. Let's talk to him. Desert Treasure.
There you go. This book contains the sums of my translating ability. If you would be so kind as to take that back to Asgarnia, I think it will reassure him that he is on the right track for a great find of archaeological importance.
Wow, you write really quickly, don't you?
What can I say? It's a skill I picked up through my many years of taking field notes.
Yay! We have a book of translations. I say yay a lot like that, don't I? Does it ever get annoying? I feel like it probably should if it doesn't. What's wrong with you people? You should be horribly annoyed by me. If you're not already. Maybe you're just too polite to say so. In which case, please keep lying to me. I do prefer to be lied to in this case. I much prefer people act polite to my face. No, that's not actually true in real life, but on this channel it is, because, you know, anonymity, meh. People tend to be a little bit overly ruthless, as I have found on the internet, but oh well. You guys have been great, though. I'm rather shocked at how nice my viewers have been to me and how encouraging you all have been. I must be doing something right. Alright, we're going through the Shantae Pass, and then we're going to run all the way back down to Asgardia Smith. I know, there's a lot of running. It could be a lot worse, trust me. You're getting the nice version. When I first did Desert Treasure on my original character, which I think actually is still technically available, I probably could get that if I wanted to. But anyway, I wasted a good 5 or 6 hours on this quest. I'm hoping to kind of beast mode through it, but we'll see how successful I am on that front. Again, it depends entirely on how nice the lag decides to be, which I'm not feeling very hopeful for, but we'll try it anyway. Okay. Asgardia Smith, please. I have found some translations for you. Should be interesting. Does it belong in a museum? Probably. Hello there. So what did Terry Belando say about those etchings? Did he give you a translation for me? Yeah, he did. I have it right here in this book. Did you take a read of this? It will do you good to understand how this profession works. Here, have a read. What? I don't want to read it. Oh wait, fine, I'll read the book. Rough translation, cuneiforms, blah, 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 academic stuff. Alright, missing fragments. The permanent exile or journey of the people ended, and so it came to pass that deep in the desert the gods argued amongst themselves that the fortress would be chosen, imprisoned, wealth, power, guarded, protected, sick, dead, depending on context, diamonds and crystals, that's important, more diamonds and crystals, guarded, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. We're going to find out more about that later, but it's kind of important. Alright, well, let's hand back the book. I already read the book, thank you. I don't want to read it anymore. Yeah, I did. Kind of boring, really. Excellent. Just give me a moment to read this, and talk to me again in a second. Really? Okay, fine. Talk to him again. It's been a second. Huh. Interesting. Seems to me like there's some kind of treasure hidden out in the desert. So what do you say? Fancy being a treasure hunter like me? Don't you mean an archaeologist? Yes, an archaeologist. It's all this hot sun getting to me, I think. Well, anyways, Let's just assume there's a treasure hidden in the desert somewhere, and let's just say for the sake of argument that maybe if I found a big stash of gold and treasure, I wouldn't necessarily just hand it all over to the Museum of Varrock. Oh wow, you're crooked. You're a crooked archaeologist, I applaud you. Let's also say, purely hypothetically, that if there was such a big stash of treasure and someone were to help me find it, then that hypothetical person might be entitled to, let's say, a purely for the sake of argument, 30% split, 50%. That's right. A purely for the sake of argument, 50-50 split on this hypothetical treasure, should it exist. Do you see where I'm going with this? You want me to help you find some treasure for a 50% share as long as I don't tell anybody, and your reputation as an esteemed archaeologist with the Museum of Varrock remains intact, and nobody discovers you're actually just a treasure hunter. Yeah, well the way you said it makes it sound like I'm doing something wrong. So, what do you say? Partners? We're gonna help him, because we're crooked too. Well, I guess nobody is really gonna lose out on anything, and we don't even know if there is any treasure. Go on then. Count me in. Good lad. Well, we'll split up, and we'll be able to find the treasure quicker. I'll continue searching around here in this Bedouin camp. You head south to the bandit village. Well, that doesn't seem like very fair, does it? If either of us find anything, we'll come to find each other and say what, okay? You head south, see what you can find out about this tablet. Well, that sounds just fine and dandy. Alright, well, we're gonna go to the bandit camp, which I don't think I've actually been to on this character. I'm really hoping that my Guthix cape isn't gonna provoke them. I'm actually gonna take it off just to be safe. Don't think it will, but you never know, you never know. Oops, I just accidentally clicked something on my computer I didn't mean to. There we go. Okay. So what we want to do is go find the bartender who is in the big building over here. These bandits are actually pretty good to kill. Surprisingly. Good XP. We're going to talk to the bartender. Look at all the people sitting around and drinking their beer. I love beer.
If you're not buying anything, I'll have nothing to say to you.
Let's buy a drink.
What's that? You won't buy a beer? It'll cost you 650 coins.
What? 650 coins? That's stupid. We're gonna buy a beer.
There you go. Now get out. We don't like your sort around here.
That's not very nice. I had things to talk to you about.
You've had your drink. Now get out of here. I've got nothing to say to the...
No, wait. Look, I'm on an I'm on an archaeological expedition for the Museum of Varrock. I'm only here looking for artifacts.
Oh, really? Our inheritance is only sand and death. What do you expect to find out here in this desert forsaken by the gods?
Well, I've heard something about 4 diamonds or crystals.
4 diamonds of Azanadra? How did you hear about them?
You've heard of them then?
It's just a fairy tale for children. Maybe one of the village elders might know more, but it's not something I really care about. Now get out of here. Your sword isn't welcome in my bar.
That's not very nice. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say that might be a little bit racist. That's okay though. We're gonna talk to Eblis. I believe he's the village elder of this area. Hello, there he is. He's inside the house. Eblis. Come and talk. Oops, I just closed the curtain. They don't have doors in here. They have curtains, which is very cool. Eblis. Hello, I represent the Museum of Varrock, and I have reason to believe there may be some kinds of artifacts of historical significance in the nearby area.
Yes. The only time people care about our existence is when they think they have something to gain from us.
Kinda true, and I am an American after all, so there's that.
I have nothing to say to you. You and your kind are not welcome here.
Please, if I just have a few minutes of your time to ask some questions.
I suppose I can spare you that. What do you wish to know about?
Why don't you tell me about the 4 diamonds of Azanadra?
This is the treasure of which you seek? Please accept my apologies, noble sir. I thought you were but some opportunistic thief, looking to steal what heritage we have left. Now I see you are in fact a brave adventurer, looking to restore our glories back upon us.
This is actually true because I am Zorosian, but my character technically doesn't know that yet because of the time distortion between the 5th and the 6th age. It's complicated. Yeah, so anyway, you have heard of them.
Heard of them? Of course I have heard of them. They are the legacy of our greatest ever hero.
So, do you have any idea where they might be? I have a feeling they'll be very valuable. Valuable as historical artifacts, I mean, obviously.
They were stolen by warriors of the false god Zamorak generations ago. When you find the warriors, you will find the diamonds. I suspect they will not willingly part with such objects of power, however. Beware too, for these warriors are very powerful. They have taken the powers of the diamonds into themselves.
How do you mean?
Each diamond has an element quality. There is the diamond of blood, the diamond of ice, the diamond of smoke, and the diamond of shadow. You should expect the warriors to have taken some aspects of these diamonds as their own.
Do you have any idea how I could track down these warriors somehow then?
There is an ancient spell I know of that may spy upon such power, but it will require a few ingredients for it to work. Should you be willing to get these ingredients for me, I will be able to locate the rough area for which each of these warriors has taken refuge. The spell is imprecise, but it should help you get on the right track to your search. Is your desire for our freedom strong enough? Will you gather the ingredients for this spell for me?
Of course I will. In fact, I already have them. It's awesome. What do you need? Well, he needs some scrying glasses, and he needs a bunch of different stuff. The scrying glasses, of course, look upon where the diamonds were. But what do I need? He needs 2 magic laws, steel bar, molten glass. So that's a total of 12 magic logs, 6 pieces of molten glass, and 6 steel bars, which I have. In addition, he needs bones, ash, charcoal, and blood, which I have. What kind of bones do you need? Just standard bones. I will go get those for you, and zip, zoop, done! Ha ha ha, I'm the Flash! Yeah. Alright. I have some stuff, cool.
Thank you. Pass over the ingredients, so I may begin working on the spell. Before I can compare the spell I need, blah 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 blah.
I need to actually hand him these things? Well, what an annoying thing. Alright, let's give him the molten glass, the stuff, I have to be careful not to accidentally misclick and bury these bones. I have to give him the bones. I don't want to scatter or use any ashes in that weird way. And there's that, and there's that. Alright, we done?
Excellent. Those are all the ingredients I need to create the scrying glasses. I will find a suitable spot in the desert to the east of here and set them up. When you are ready to begin your search, please come and find me here. I will show you how to utilize the mirrors to find the diamonds.
Okay. Sounds pretty awesome. So, what we're going to do is the small hill right up around here somewhere. Yes, there it is. Diamonds are going to be found in these mirrors. We need to talk to him one more time. Let's just double check.
Ah, so you got here at last.
It was only like a 300-yard dash, sir. Not that bad.
As you may have noticed, I have made the mirrors for the spell and cast the enchantment upon them. By simply looking into each mirror, you will be able to see the area where the trace of magics from the diamonds of Azanadra are emanating from. Unfortunately, I cannot narrow the search closer with this kind of spell, but if you search the areas shown to you, you may be able to find some clues leading you to the evil warriors of Zamorak who stole the diamonds in the first place.
Good to know. So you can't be any more specific about where to look for these warriors and their diamonds?
I am afraid not. Other than the direction that the mirror is facing will be approximately the direction you need to head in. Make sure to come and speak to me when you have retrieved all 4 diamonds.
Oh boy, here we go. Alright. Well, there are a few things we can look at. 2 of them I think are actually fakey. We're going to look at it real quick. Ah, this is real. So we want to look at this big diamondy looking, not diamondy, sorry, icy looking place with ice trolls everywhere. There's one in there. We're going to look into this mirror. Canifis. Realm of vampires and werewolves and all manner of other dark, sludgy, nasty, swampy things. We hate them, but they're awesome anyway. Look in this mirror. Anything in here? There is what? Something. A well. A well leading into a dungeon, perhaps? It is possible. Smoky well. That's where one of them is going to be. Let's check this one as well. Again, though, two of them are fakies. So, here's a pyramid. That's where we're going to go much later in the quest, but we'll hold on to that information for now. And then... what else we got? This is the village where I just was, so this mirror is actually worthless. We've already been here, so this means the last mirror right here is going to tell me where to go. Last one right here. And it is off in the forest somewhere. Maybe, possibly, the Backstorian Falls where I did Waterfall Quest? Hence why Waterfall Quest was a prerequisite for this quest. Well, that's it for this episode. I know it's been a bit long, 20 minutes-ish, but we're going to break this up. So we have to find the 4 Diamonds of Azanadra. I'm going to do 1 per episode if I can, assuming they don't run an absurdly long time. Hopefully they won't. And then 1 more episode after that, hopefully, should be enough to wrap things up. So at least 5 more parts to go. Stick around, everybody, for Desert Treasure, one of the best quests in the game, and I'll see you guys next time.